Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. I thought we should talk about what we can expect from the next Star Citizen update, patch 2.2, that will be in our hands between now and the end of February. Now, some of these features that I'm going to talk about, they're likely to get moved to later updates. Some of them might be in the PTU and removed. So be aware of that. All of the process is iterative, and they are trying to get features completed and done and balanced and fixed and stuff. So like we saw with physical EVA in 2.1, they sometimes remove those features in the PTU and sometimes don't even release them at all. They might not be ready. So with that in mind, let's talk about these features that are either kind of ready now or nearly ready now and are likely to be in 2.2 or soon after. Hangar Ready Starfarer. So the Starfarer is planned to be hangar ready extremely soon. In fact, it was suggested that it will be before the end of January. In fact, they're working on the hangar expansions too for bigger, better hangars so that the Starfarer can be accommodated in our hangars. So whether that's going to be before 2.2 or with the 2.2 PTU release, we're going to get it in the extremely near future. The Starfarer is going to be the largest ship we've had in our hangars up to date when we get it, and it's going to be explorable. It's a large explorable ship. People have compared it to a whole game level by itself, and from the sneak peeks we've seen of it, it does look pretty damn cool. Another thing that I would expect quite likely to be for the launch of 2.2 or thereabouts and near that time is the Reliant being hangar ready. The Reliant was in its texturing phase last time I checked, and CIG have been starting to do sneak peeks of the grey boxing and some of those other final stages before a ship goes hangar ready. It's very possible that the ship will be hangar ready as soon as the launch of 2.2. Again, another possibility, and a ship that doesn't require much work to get it flight ready, is the Sabre. So the Sabre was one of the fastest ships ever to get hangar ready. It doesn't require any new mechanics. It's a fighter. So there's been hints that it's almost flight ready for a while now. And one of the reasons that they might try and push it out is that they'll want something to compete with the Super Hornet on one-on-one fights in the Persistent Universe and for Arena Commander and that sort of stuff. The Sabre and the Super Hornet need to fight. It's a simple ship for CIG to kind of get out there, and I'd expect it to be pretty soon, hopefully with 2.2, if not most certainly with 2.3. The Kasaba outlet. So the shopping experience and the Kasaba outlet store have been mentioned a lot by CIG in a variety of their shows and their monthly report from December. When it's ready, we're going to be able to purchase clothing and customizations from the Kasaba store and eventually more and more stores. I'm not entirely sure how many are going to be released in the first release. Could just be the Kasaba store, could be lots of different things. They are working on the full AR shopping experience as well, so you're going to be able to purchase gear for your character and preview those mods to your avatar before they take effect. Not entirely sure again if that's going to be ready for the first rollout or not. I don't know. This will also eventually lead onto character and ship changes persisting in game. So it's part of they'll get the shopping experience done and then the persistence. So rather than everything being hosted on the website and web-based, they'll be phasing out the Voyager Direct store. So you'll be purchasing items in-game with UEC that will be part of your account. Again, they're working on that. That might not be part of the first rollout. The new item system, or item system 2.0. So this new standardized item system for ship equipment has been being worked on for a while now. They're going to change the size 1 to whatever equipment to light, medium, heavy and capital sizes, as well as fitting multiple pieces of equipment that would have previously been in a single slot. So for example, rather than having a size 3 power plant in a ship, you might have 3 light power plants instead. This gives you more choice and customization of your ship. Also, the first iteration of this is likely to only have power plants, coolers and shields. I'm not entirely sure how all the ships will be affected, but everything will be affected by it. Weapons, though, should still be standardized between the sizes of 1 to 10 based on effectively their length and size. Also, they were talking about the work on the power management system prototype, and that's been going well, and we should be able to play with that soon. The new systems will be done when they're done, but it's something I would very much expect for 2.2 or 2.3, based on all the info that CIG have given over the last few months. The Nix landing zone. So there's been a lot of work going into the Delmar, Nix, Levski landing zone, whatever you want to call it. That's that Nix landing zone. But both interior and exterior of this asteroid have seen a lot of work. Now, I would expect that we'll get the interior first, because the exterior is most likely to be rolled out with us with procedural planets or planetary landings. And I'll talk more about that in a minute. But walking around the interior of this new landing zone in the same style that we've had for ArcCorp's Area 18 is likely to be very, very soon as 2.2. The Frankfurt studio has made a lot of progress on the procedural generation of planets and atmosphere and stuff. So we're going to get the first iteration of that in some form, with being able to land, I expect, on Delmar, as we saw in their little video demo of it. And I'd expect, again, this likely to come sooner than we think. I doubt it's going to be for 2.2, the procedural landings on planets. I think that's a Hail Mary pass. But it could come for 2.3, 2.4. I do expect it to be still early 2016 to get some form of iteration of that. Cargo and loot drops. So they've been talking about we're going to be able to carry cargo very soon. And they've also been talking about NPC pirates that they're going to be dropping loot and cargo that you can scavenge and steal. And that's likely, again, to be extremely soon. We're going to be able to blow up NPCs or players to get this delicious, delicious loot. It's been a really hot topic on CIG recently, and they're looking to get it into the game as soon as possible. So it could be for 2.2. I am expecting them to drop a mechanic of some sort, probably in 2.2, and it would most likely be cargo or loot drops, or both. And obviously we'll see further improvements to frame rates in general, to the multiplayer party system. That needs some work. We want to be able to easily get into games with parties together, and CIG do keep on saying that is a higher priority to them. There's obviously some problems with performance of the Constellation Retaliator, and some ship explosions, and multiple NPCs and multiple players being in areas together. All of that will be worked on, and performance increases are almost certainly likely to be made there, as well as they keep on trying to fiddle around with missions and stuff. So they're talking about missions a lot at the moment, and they want to do modular missions. They want missions to be more replayable. So I'd expect some changes or additions to missions that we currently have. So that's basically all the stuff that's in the very near future. Now, there's some other bits and bobs as well which might be added. They might be ready. I have no idea, really, how much work's being needed to do on them. So, for example, physicalized EVA. So that was removed in the 2.1 PTU as it needed more work. And I'm not sure how much more work is required, but it's possible that it will resurface in the 2.2 PTU with a bit of a rework done. They're also working on ship customization and persistence for the baby PU, as I sort of alluded to earlier. The idea is that we'll have to rent and buy weapons eventually with REC and UAC in-game, and change them easily in Port Olisar. And as I said earlier again, the Voyager Direct store should be totally phased out at some point. Persistence will come after or with the shopping experience, but it's a possible feature of 2.2 still. At the moment in 2.1, you can kind of bodge customize your ship for Port Olisar. If you load a ship onto the holo table and then load that ship into AC, the last ship you loaded basically into AC that was customized, that will have its loadout saved for Port Olisar. So you can kind of bodge that in for a customization and fly around with custom weapons in the baby PU. The new game manual is being updated for 2.01 onwards. I would expect this to be nearing completion. They have been talking about the game manual a couple of times and them wanting to get it done, so I know people are working on it. There's also some more ship bits and bobs as well, so variants-wise, they are working on variants for the Connie and the Freelancer to get them into the game as soon as possible and all that jazz. They're going to be done when they're done and released to us, but I expect them to be ready in the not-too-distant future. First quarter of 2016, maybe, if we're lucky. Again, I don't entirely know how much work they've done on them. The Prowler concept as well. So I know they're working on the possibly Egyptian-looking Tavarin, and once they're happy with that and their style, that Prowler ship's going to go on to concept sale. So it's likely to be, again, early 2016, but I'm not sure when. Again, the Jean Scout has been, going into grey box, and then it will be going into a texturing phase and hangar ready phase. So That's unlikely to be ready for 2.2. I would expect it's ready for 2.3, but anything is possible. If they've got lots of assets working on the Jean Scout, then it could be ready earlier. I would also expect at some point in the not too distant future, the Herald to be hangar ready as well, but I would again expect this after all the other ships that I've mentioned after the Jean Scout at some point. So from looking at all the available sources from Reverse the Verse, Around the Verse, 10 for the monthly report, and a variety of other CIG sources, that's the most likely few pieces that they're working on at the moment that are likely to make it to 2.2. Now, some of them will obviously get pushed to 2.3. Some of them might get removed for the 2.2 PTU after they've seen to not work or not work as intended. So we'll have to kind of wait and see. But anyway, if you've got any other predictions or additions you wanted to make to that, please put them in the comments below. I'm happy to talk about anything that you think I might have missed or you think that will be there, won't be there. What are you hoping for? That sort of jazz. I find that all incredibly interesting, so please share. Anyway, guys, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It really does help me, and I will see you in the verse.